welcome back, welcome back. We are here with again Shaka from Prime and Prim, and the infamous, the one and only, the man behind the Wolves versus Roses brand. Want to thank you guys for Amahd Mitchell. Come on down, Amahd Mitchell. Yeah. Amahd Mitchell is the creator, is the designer behind the Wolves versus Roses brand. New collection.
Yep.
So, I want to know all about, first of all, I want to know Wolves versus Roses.
Yep.
Love the name.
Okay.
I loved how you were able to mesh the wolf and the rose. But what I really want to know is, for a man to come up with such a name, such a creative vibe, I want to know how, when, why, where did this come about? How did we get to Wolves versus Roses? How did we get to the first Alpha collection?
Okay.
How did all of that start?
It started right around the time when I got married, around 2018. It kind of became a vision for me. Everybody knows in relationships you have different dynamics. For me, my dynamic was kind of crazy because of the way I grew up versus the way my wife grew up.
So you're the rose?
Definitely not. Not at all. Not at all. And I'm trying to get a little more to that side.
Okay.
I'm married. We have kids. So for me, I grew up having to survive. I grew up having to hustle. I grew up having to work for everything. And not to say that my wife didn't have to go through those same things, but she's more of the family dynamic. Her family all lived in the same place.
Hence
the rose. So for me, trying to figure out how to mesh these two worlds together, because those are two totally different things, two totally different lifestyles.
I always say elements because, like you said, I love the concept. You mentioned the wolf versus rose in relationships, so it definitely has a unity when it comes to relationships. So people who are in relationships would love to rock this.
Yep.
Relationships are all over.
Right.
So it's safe to say they're all over, whether it's a friend relationship, a mom and dad, a parents relationship, sister, brother, work relationship, professional. That's kind of dope how you came up with that. So that's kind of dope.
Well, for me, putting something together, it has to have a meaning behind it.
Definitely.
You definitely want to follow the story because the stories are ever changing. You have some friends that you have for 30, 40 years. You got some friends you may only have for a year. But that's just the dynamic of that particular relationship. So we want that thing to be universal to everybody. Anything that anybody can relate to is what we want.
Awesome. So I actually got to, I guess I would say I didn't get to rock anything yet. I did order my Wolves versus Roses hoodie.
Nice.
I'm super excited to wear it and put it on. But I've had the chance and the pleasure to work alongside you throughout this process. It's been a challenging process. It's been a learning process.
It's not that bad. Not that difficult.
But what I love about you the most, understanding who you are and understanding the brand and the image you want for Wolves versus Roses. You're very meticulous when it comes to your designs.
Yes.
You're very thorough in the way you want Wolves versus Roses to be portrayed, but you're passionate.
Right.
And in order to be successful, especially in fashion and entertainment, so you won't go out of style because fashion comes in style, it goes out of style, but everything evolves. Yep. And I got to witness you behind the scenes throughout this process, and it was amazing. I love the French Terrier.
It's one of my favorites as well.
And I love it because I don't know if there was a story behind designing each piece, but behind designing the Made from Hustle with Love, which is the tagline. So a lot of it, when you speak about the tagline, Made to Hustle from Love, it's just everybody. Is it safe to say everybody starts from the bottom at some point, or how did we come up with the tagline?
All right, so the tagline was, I always consider myself a hustler. I work, I scrap, I claw for everything that I have. But in order to have that full vision of it, it didn't come to fruition until I found the love aspect of it. And it starts to change. So, every man or every woman has the situation where they hustle, they work to get to the spot, right? So you can buy a house, but a house doesn't turn into a home until you get your wife, or until you get your husband. So, this brand was made from hustle.
Okay.
Right? But now I hustle in this brand because of the love that I have for my wife and my kids.
Okay.
So that's where you get the made from hustle with love.
You gotta always give your followers, you gotta give them something to stay tuned. What's in store? Where do we see Wolves versus Roses 5 years from now? Are you currently working on a project? Are we expecting a showcase? Are we expecting a fashion show? When is the next collection dropping? What is the next collection? Are you going to give us a teaser? Like, we're waiting. We're ready for more now.
Well, we got a couple things in the works. One thing, we're always designing. Mm-hmm. The world is ever flowing, ever changing, so I think designs are going to do the same thing. Now, we started with the Alpha collection, which you see everything is majority black, white. So you can you guys can add your own custom designs to it, because creativity is in the eye of the beholder. Mm-hmm. But as we get a little more to, I guess I'll give you the name of the next collection, which is the Arctic collection that goes to, when we go full scale winter, we'll have a full winter collection of things. Okay. Now that will throw a little more pops of color and different things like that, so you can, be a little more specific to the winter time.
So you mentioned you mentioned the black and white. Mm-hmm. Now, it's a purpose behind that, right? Why do we only get to be limited to just black and white in the collection?
So everything in the collection has a purpose, down from the colors that we use. So you say the black and white. When I was growing up and in high school, all we wore was black t-shirts and white t-shirts.
I remember that phase.
Yeah, so that was very integral in my life. So that's why right now we're only doing the black t-shirts and the white t-shirts, because that represents my past and where I came from.
So you're telling a story.
Always.
So they got to tune in from the beginning.
Yes.
And just see the growth and the expansion of Wolves versus Roses. But we get to learn about you, the wolf, and how the wolf is trying to harness its rose side.
Right. So basically what the wolf is trying to do, he's trying to learn how to protect his pack. Right? Mm-hmm. And being able to protect the pack comes with different aspects. I can't be tough all the time. Right.
Gotta learn to smile a little bit, learn to sit back and relax.
But once again, that comes with getting that rose that allows me to change in the process.
Yes.
And then, like I say, I'm still learning that. I'm newly married. We've been married about 2 years.
Okay.
So I'm still learning, and she's still teaching, but we hope to rub off on each other. I hope to give her some of that hustle side that I have, but also take some of that love side that she has, to where we can get to, hence the half wolf, half rose logo, to where we're in that perfect harmony.
And that's the t-shirt. That's the half wolf, half rose t-shirt. That's on the front of the shirt.
Yes.
And that's the
ultimate goal.
Okay.
That's the ultimate goal.
So that's where we're striving. We're striving for that unity.
That's what we're striving for, that.
Okay.
So when you look at the Wolves versus Roses, the actual full word logo, you gotta think about it. That's the point where most people start at. It's always a push and pull.
Okay.
It feels like a me versus you. Right?
I'm following.
So and then you slide over to the French Terry, where you got Wolves versus Roses, but it's a streamline to where, okay, we're starting to line up.
So we're becoming polished.
We're becoming polished. We're becoming smooth. We're becoming to get in line. We start to kind of think alike a little bit. We're starting to, okay, I can maybe finish a couple of your sentences here and there.
Okay.
And then, we get to the end, we got that yin and that yang. I know what you're going to do before you do it. I know what you're going to say before you say it.
You're comfortable now.
We're comfortable. Like, we good. We that one now.
Okay.
But that's the ultimate goal. But it just represents different phases. And we all go through them no matter what relationship you're in.
I would agree with that. So, what is your favorite piece?
My favorite piece is not actually out yet.
What? So we expect to see it in the Arctic Wolf collection.
We're planning on bringing that to the Arctic collection. That's gonna be my favorite piece. I got some things up my sleeve.
So you're gonna give us a hint? Are we expecting?
Can't tell.
You're giving us some more hoodies. We're getting jackets. We're getting socks. I would love to see some socks in the Wolves versus Roses collection.
I think the sock thing would be kind of cool. Socks is a big thing around the kids.
Yeah.
Now. So,
now, do you anticipate jumping into the kids market? Because right now your collection is strictly for age. You're kind of like in the young college.
Yeah, the young adult age, people that are still people that are still kind of creative and finding themselves.
Okay.
Those are the people that we want to deal with. Not to say that we can't deal with people that are refined, because we love those people too, that can, like what you have on now, you can dress down with the French terry shirt that you love so much.
I love the French
terry.
Throw
your blazer on with it, some nice jeans, maybe some stilettos or whatever, so you can dress that up. Mm-hmm. But we want that market that's really creative, that sees our brand and like, oh man, I'm gonna throw on this crazy color hat with these nice shoes because the shirts are black and white and I can mix anything with it.
So that's an advantage. So we're wanting to keep it simple, the simplicity with the black and white, and to be able to dress it up with the sneakers, the pumps, the sandals. Exactly. Okay, I see where we're going.
We want our brand, but we want your creativity. And we want to see
our
that.
brand and your creativity.
Yeah.
Okay. So if someone wanted to shop Wolves vs. Roses collection, where do they go?
You go to wolvesversusroses.com, and then also Wolves vs. Roses, we're across all social media platforms.
So Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
and then we have the website.
And then you have a YouTube channel, because I did subscribe to your YouTube channel.
Definitely have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
YouTube channel is going to be pretty cool. You kind of get to see things that you would not normally see from me. So you'll kind of see behind the scenes. You get to be working in the warehouse. That's big. And you may get to see my kids ripping and running across the house, yelling at me and things of that nature. So it's always a good time. Okay,
so we can follow and tune into the personal side of you on YouTube.
Exactly.
And keep to the business side. Follow on the Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Wolves vs. Roses. Mm-hmm. And then you can shop for the Alpha Collection. Stay tuned to the Arctic Wolf Collection at the wolvesversusroses.com. Now, I gotta ask my favorite question, and it's always an off-the-wall question, right? So, what's your favorite color?
Red.
Red's your favorite color?
Absolutely.
Okay. I didn't know you was going to say red. That just threw everything off. But if you had to tell our viewers one thing that sets you apart and why they should be a part of the Wolfpack, what would you say to them?
Man, it's a story. Who doesn't love a good story?
Who doesn't love a good story?
Follow the brand for the story, and then in return, tell us your story. So the brand is it's not my brand. It's going to be a brand for all of us. That's
because of the concept.
Because of the concept. But that's why you see Join the Pack or Smell the Roses. It's not about the individual.
Okay.
It's always about the pack or about the group.
Okay. So join the pack, Smell the Roses with Amahd Mitchell, designer creator behind the Wolves vs. Roses brand. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, and don't forget to turn those notifications on. And we hope to see you guys back on our next YouTube podcast with Prime and Prim. Have a good day.